Hello everybody, this is Anna, also known as Anna-Nita on Ravelry and on Etsy, and Anna-Nita on Instagram, and you can see everything down on the screen. I'm so happy to see you again. I think my last podcast episode was, I have uploaded like a month or even 2 months ago. I'm so sorry. So first of all, there wasn't much knitting and crocheting, and second is life was very interesting and busy again, and private life changes still going on, and there is a big life changer ahead. So don't get used to regular uploads or something. We will see how this goes the next weeks and month, but I don't want to give up this podcast because it's so much fun. And it's so lovely that you always reach out to me and ask me how I am and where I am and when I upload again. So it's very much appreciated that you still want to be part of this community of our podcast. Okay, let's start right in and let's pretend there wasn't that big gap as every time. Okay. So I think first of all, I just want to show you very quickly what I have still in my shop. You know, I dye yarn. Oh, that earthquake is my dog, the West Highland White Terrier Benny. You will see in a few moments on a finished object picture. And if you hear noises, I don't know what is going on in this house, but I think it's some major spring cleaning going on here. Okay. There isn't so much in the shop at the moment, but what I still have is chocolate, dragonfly, soft rose, cream toffee, this pretty blue, and these mini sets. So 5 mini skeins in a very lovely pack. If you want to see my shop, if you want to look through it, or if you want to favorite it on Etsy, I can highly recommend. The links you can see down below. It's Anna-Nita Yarns on Etsy, but sometimes Etsy search isn't that helpful, so you will see the links to my social media and to my Etsy shop in the description field below. So now let's come to Benny is like arrested between the tripod and a huge felted knitting bag. I think he will find a way out. Okay, I have a finished object. I'm sorry if I always go off camera. I'm so sorry. It's how we roll today. It's a blanket. Let's fold it and look here how cute and pretty and soft this looks. And sorry for the light, but you know, it's spring. I want to enjoy the sun. I think it won't disturb you too much. I have finished my temperature blanket of 2019. Okay, you might think now, well, Anna, we are in the first quarter of 2020 already. Why are you showing us such a late finished object? So, I have started this last year in, I think, the end of March. So I'm still very good because I have finished it in under a year. It's meant to be started at January 1st, and you work on this every day for a row of, for example, every Sunday you work 7 rows. You pick a chart of your choice. 1 to 2 degrees, for example, is the dark blue, 3 to 4 degrees is a lighter blue, and so on and so on. You can see my chart here on the screen, and for more details and information you can hop over on my Ravelry project page for the temperature blanket. I have used special Stylecraft DK in 13 different colors. I have used the highest temperature of the day in my surrounding. There are so many weather apps and weather stations on the internet. It's easy to find your place or the place you like to do. Yeah, and there are many different ways to do a temperature blanket. I have decided to crochet with a 3.5 millimeter hook. I think it's called, I don't know if you can hear this, but it's crazy. It's the seat stitch. It's a very, I think the word is dense fabric, so no holes here. That means it's very warm. That means the stitches aren't so tall, and that is the thing you have to keep in mind if you want to start a temperature blanket, because you have to crochet or knit 365 rows. So if one row already measures half a centimeter or even a centimeter, you got a problem. So yeah, it's a little mathematics you have to do in the beginning, and I did a swatch, so it turned out lovely. It's like 170 centimeters long. I will show you a picture, but I also want to show you the blanket here on the video. So wait, I will put you back and hold it up. I think there isn't really much I can say about it other than the things I have already told you. Did I enjoy the project? Yes, I did. But because I have started 3 months later, I had to catch up. And at the beginning, I really only was working on this project, so that's not the best way to start a temperature project. And because of moving houses and breaking up and all that stuff, and summer, very hot summer, I haven't really worked on it during the summer. That means I catched up, and then I again had to catch up after the big gap in the summer. So it felt like hard work, and it felt like I was only if I was working on this project, I only worked on that and nothing else. So I would recommend stay to your daily row or weekly that you make your so that you crochet or knit your rows every Saturday or every Sunday or so, but stay to that and don't get too far behind, because I wanted to have this blanket done, and it was like not enjoying the process anymore, to be honest, the last 2 months or 3 months. So that was sad, but I really enjoyed the end result. And in the beginning I was very excited about picking colors and picking the right pattern and so on, and I'm so happy that I did this because it is so pretty. I have always wanted to work a blanket with special Stylecraft Special Decay. I always say this the wrong way around. And I really enjoyed to work with this. I know it's 100% acrylic, and in the past I was kind of a yarn snob, but now I see the benefits of acrylics, especially if you use this having a dog. And I like to be able to wash it easily, or if you craft for a baby, for example, or so. It's not as heavy as cotton, but it is so warm. It is so much warmer than, for example, superwash yarns. Real woolly yarns are also very warm and easy to handle. They are superwash too, but this very fine soft merino yarn isn't the best to keep you that warm. If you only want to have a lap blanket, for example, or a pretty blanket for decoration, that's awesome. But acrylics have their benefits, definitely. Okay, yeah, this episode is all about the blankets. Besides one project I will talk about. Well, let's squeeze this now in. Where is it? Wait. After I have finished my hume, you saw on the last episode, but it was wet and I wasn't wearing it, I wore it today at school, but now I'm wearing this because the sun came out. It's too warm for me now to wear this, so I'm sorry. But after finishing the Hume, I started the Icy Spring by Howie Locatelli. You can see the picture on the screen. It's not so easy to show you what I have here because it's a very interesting and, let's be honest, weird construction. I had to do some modification because I was off gauge, and so yeah, I still have to figure out some parts of the pattern for my gauge, but it's not too difficult. It's a very easy pattern. And something here inside is smelling like awesome good. Oh, it's Tuft Woolen's lavender soap. Wait. So, no, it's blowing out. I'm sorry. Oh, that smells good. Okay, I tried to show you the one pattern part you have, and the rest is simply stockinette. It's this. Yeah. That's all. The rest of it is stockinette, so it's not a big problem. I really like, yeah, in the slide you can see the colors perfectly. I really like this yarn. It's Malabrigo Arroyo Choco. And when you hear Choco, I have to show you what the dog is doing now. Let's try this. Benny? Was machst du denn da? Okay, that's weird, but okay, he's a dog. He's a terrier. He likes to be in small places. When you hear Choco, you think of brown, okay? But this colorway is so... There is so much to it. You see purples or lilacs, dark brown, cream, a middle brown like caramel. It is so pretty, and it will be such a pretty sweater. But maybe because I was working stockinette so much for the Hume, I was bored very quickly after I did the pattern and the first instruction. Now I have to do stockinette for 10 or 15 centimeters and do the next step, and I was very bored. And it's a dark color and spring is around, so I don't know when I will work on this. I wait for the flow and do it with the flow. Okay, the next thing I grabbed again is my cotton blanket. I have really only worked 2 rows on this, but I needed to get back into the pattern. I needed to get used to it and find out where I stopped and how it worked and which hook I used and so on. It's my cotton rainbow blanket. If you remember, I worked on this 2 years ago. I have done the first repeat and now I have to do the repeat a second time. And I made a baby blanket in rainbow colors already. So here is where I stopped. It's so pretty. Every row is another pattern. You have every once in a while a special pattern like granny stripes or these bumps or tulips like these. And in between the normal double crochet, single crochet, half double crochet and so on. And it is so pretty, and I have chosen this color palette because these are my favorite colors. It's so it's reminding me of summer and ocean and the North Sea. I do come from northern Germany, and the North Sea is very close, and yeah, I feel very homey with these colors, and it's perfect for my couch. and in general for my furniture and so on. That's my style. If you want to see my style on a blanket, that's it. And I really would like to finish it, and I really do enjoy the process. First of all, cotton is so much fun to work with because it's so slick, I would say. Is that the right word if you use yarn? So quick. And I'm using a very thin hook, I think 3mm, yeah, 3mm hook. It's a very cheap, normal cotton yarn. It feels very soft. For the details, it's a German brand, so I don't think that you get this internationally, but you can see everything in detail on my Ravelry page for that. And I have a Ravelry page for the rainbow or Regenbogendecke, a rainbow blanket in baby size in rainbow colors. So I did the original pattern, and then I did the modification that I took it four times the size, so double in width and double in length. So yeah, it's a commitment, but it's so worth it. And you don't get bored easily because you do something else every row, so it's fun. But you have to deal with many ends to weave in. If you hate weaving in ends, that's not the project for you. So then the temperature blanket also is not the project for you. But if you don't mind weaving in ends, or if you decide to do this every once in a while so you don't have to do all the work at the end of the project, go for it. It's so much fun. Yeah, I found the English pattern, I think, and you can see this on my Ravelry page, because it was designed by 2 German ladies in 2013. It was a crochet along over 13 weeks. It was planned for 13 weeks. I did the baby blanket in 14 days. So it's very much fun. I always, when I see this blanket, I think of Hawaii 5.0, because that was the series I was binge watching back then. Yeah, but in August I have already planned another blanket. So I only worked 1 or 2 rows on the cotton blanket and decided to start this other blanket I had on my mind all the time during working on my temperature blanket. First of all, I was missing wool yarn. That was cotton, the other one was acrylic. I was missing the feel of true sheepy wool. And I was missing knitting. Just mindless, yeah, mindless, popcorny or potato chippy knitting. And in August I found the pattern by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. It's called Bits and Bobs. It is meant to be a leftover scrappy project, like the Cozy Memories blanket or the Granny Stripe blanket made from leftovers. But I wanted to use my yarn. I had, and if you are interested in that, I will dye it again. I had a sock yarn base, sturdy sock, which feels similar to Regia and Opal. So it's more sturdy, it's very sheepy, it's very warm. For me it's soft enough, and for me it is the perfect yarn for a blanket. So my Granny Stripe blanket I primarily made from Opal minis, and I realized that this blanket is keeping me very warm, much warmer than the very soft merinos. And I like the feel of it, and I like the smell of it. It's a certain smell sheepy wool has. I love this very much. I enjoy it. And so I decided to grab my last sturdy sock yarn base yarns. Wow, that was long. And make a blanket out of this. And I started it. I stopped mid-row, I'm very sorry. Yeah, it's a very light blanket. There are some darker colors that will come in here. Wait, yeah, okay. This is This is one color, this is one color, and this is the third color, okay? Because this is self-striping, and the lilac or the purple comes and goes. Here it's again, back again, and then it's gone, and I have to be careful. But the other ones are semi-solids. So I will show you the pattern first in detail. It looks like brioche, but it's called, someone on Instagram told me, was asking, isn't this or that? And I looked it up and it was right. I think it's called Fisherman's Rib. Yeah, it simply is knit one below. So it's not a made up design. It's Fisherman's Rib. But you can get the pattern and the instructions on how. So I'm holding, as in the pattern, I'm holding two strands together, a white one and a colored one. It's meant to be a scrap yarn project, and I think I will do it in the future because it's so much fun and I love the touch of the fabric. But I wanted to use these pretty colors together. And I have so much from one base, so it would be awesome to have a blanket. I used 6-ply yarn, white 6-ply yarn. You are meant to use, so if you follow the pattern, to 4-ply strands. So one white 4-ply strand and one colored 4-ply strand. But I wanted to have a bigger blanket, and I think I made two swatches. And I can't even tell which is the smaller one. Oh yes, I think. And I wasn't seeing any difference. So this, it's a very tiny swatch. This is with a fingering weight white yarn. And this is with the yarn I use. Wait. Oh, it's Benny. And besides the size, I don't really see a difference. So I go for the 6-ply yarn, so I have a thicker blanket and quicker progress. Yeah, and it is so much fun. It feels so good. It feels, I think, even squishier than brioche. It's very much fun, and I think to use your scraps with this pattern would be the most awesome scrappy project, to be honest. This is so addictive, this is so much fun, and the white yarn you hold, or the gray or whatever yarn you use, or black, the one colored yarn you use molds in all the other different colors, and it makes it look more tidy than every other scrap yarn project. Now I will show you my colors, because there are other colors I still want to use. So that was the first. I will show this. That was the first color. That was the second with gold and stellina. That's what I'm using now. This one. This one. And this one. So it's, let me try this. This. Oh, that won't work. I see this already. Okay, these three together, like so. next to each other. Benny aus. Then this with purple. Oh no, this way. Then this. Then this. Okay, you see the others. And this. First I thought I will go for a fade, but well, I will see. And I haven't decided yet if I do the same order all the time or if I mix it up like random. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I will do it at random. We will see. But it is so much fun and it is so soft and it is... Yeah, you have very long rows, and if you are used to crocheting, you might think you are slow, but it is so much fun. That's work of one Sunday. I tried to find a way to show you. It's not so easy. That's, I think, a good way to show. Yeah, it's so soft. Okay, I will stop showing this now. I'm sorry. The next project I want to put a dent into. You know what I mean? Is my cozy memories / a Stitch in Time blanket. Again, Brownie Bears. If you remember, I showed you in the summer, that was the last time I was working on this, my first finished like stripe. I will do 3x4, and this one was the last I was finishing. I try to stick to a color palette, so this is green. Here we have blue, roses and violets and I don't know what. And the first square I've done in 2016 was just going crazy. The directions of the squares going crazy, the colors are going crazy, but that was my life. That was after getting divorced, that was after moving houses, that was after rethink pretty much every single thing in my life. I was quitting my job, starting to write my thesis and so on, so that was very crazy. And I would try to keep one color palette in one block, so it's a little tidier, because I like the Cozy Memories blankets, and I like if you stay to one color palette, for example, only pastels or only self-striping or only this, but that's not what you do normally. You put everything into a blanket because otherwise you wouldn't have enough scraps. I'm sorry for the dog barking. There's much going on the floor with the neighbors. So I think that is a good way to keep it a random project, but also to keep it tidy. Everything for the next color block for my Stitch in Time blanket I have here in my basket. You see warmer colors like yellows and oranges and all the tones, peaches and so on. But I will work on this if I feel it, because I really enjoy the project when I'm working on it and when I feel it, so I don't force myself to do it while I don't enjoy it, because that's nonsense. Don't do that in your spare time. But I wanted to wait to start another blanket project after I have finished the one. And you could say, Anna, you have already, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4 handmade blankets. All of them are crocheted. Why do you make more? First of all, you never have too many blankets. Second, the second reason is I really enjoy working on blankets. And I really love using handmade blankets. It's so special, and every blanket is good for another occasion. For example, this blanket here is great for chilly summer evenings, for example, because it has so many holes, or so big holes, that this blanket alone in the winter here in the Vienna woods, it wouldn't keep you warm, to be honest. And I have used many very soft yarns, soft merino yarns, and they aren't that warm. And then I have the big Christmassy blanket out of Schachenmeier, so in acrylic. This is the warmest blanket I have and the biggest one. And then it's for the mornings, for example, to keep me warm during my first cup of coffee before work. I use my granny stripe blanket. I always have over my knitting chair because that is very warm but not too big and too warm. It's easy to handle. And yeah, the temperature blanket was a fun color project, a more designed project, because 2 scrappy blankets and 1 Christmas blanket, so I wanted to have some other colors in my room and more planned colors, so to say. Oh, that leads us to another blanket project. Wow, this is really all about the blankets. I haven't started it yet because it's not the time for it. I don't know, but maybe I will start this in Advent or so. Maybe this is a nice Advent project. I haven't decided yet, really. Or maybe in the summer, because it would be awesome for the summer. I will show you my minis collection I have put aside for the Battenberg blanket. I have talked about it already, I think. If you don't know what the Battenberg blanket is, it's a pattern by Cherry Heart. She is Sandra, but I don't know her last name, I'm sorry. Cherry Heart, all over the interwebs. And she is a crochet podcaster and designer. And she has designed the Battenberg blanket. It's crochet and it works like this. I have started it to find out how much yarn I need. You crochet a normal solid granny square out of a leftover or whatever yarn you want to use, and then you use one color like gray or rose, or I use white, you use for the whole blanket. So it's like a chessboard. 1 scrap, 1 white, 1 scrap, 1 white, 1 scrap, 1 white. And it's called Battenberg because of the cake Battenberg. It has a chessboard pattern inside. And this looks like so much fun, and the result is so pretty. You should Google it, Battenberg blanket. It is so pretty. And this is, for me, it's like a scrap yarn project, but I will use minis from swaps or minis from my stash or leftovers from my stash, but I will really design this blanket. I won't use dark colors. I will use these pretty minis you see here. It's not everything here mini inside because I have already bought, you see, the white yarn. I'm using Drops Merino Unicolor. I think that is the yarn she recommended in the pattern. So here are many minis by Lily from the Nordic Stitches podcast. And here are some other minis and leftovers. Yeah, so only very solid, soft, pastel unicolors, like so, semi-solids or like these. Yeah, but I still wait to start this project. This will be a very precious project for me. I will wait until I have the brain space for that. And by brain space, I don't mean that it is complicated, because it's not at all. But I don't want to have on my mind all the time, you have all the other blankets, you have all the other blankets. So I will enjoy the blankets I have on the go right now. And I think I start this maybe after finishing the bits and bobs and the cotton crochet blanket, because in that way I have a knitting mindless project and a crochet mindless project on the go with scraps, and that is fun. That is so much fun. So, and if you don't call me crazy now and you still stick with me and don't judge me for starting all the blankets, I appreciate it very much. And if you are interested in the things I did besides knitting and crocheting, I put or squeeze in a little blathering section here. So, what did I do the last 2 months? I did practice the guitar. I'm not content with myself and my progress because I can't play one song with chords. I can play a melody, but only like one tone at a time without the bass. So these songs I can play, but yeah, I don't need that skill. I want to play the chords and I want to strum, and I'm not able to do this. I can play single chords or a sequence of chords, but not like with a real strumming pattern or like with a song. And I so hope that I will be able to do this very soon because I love music. I love the guitar, and I'm listening to music, especially guitar music, like indie, folk, rock, all the time, every day. And I like to sing and I love this instrument, and it would be one of my life goals to be able to play the guitars, because I want to do this since primary school. And yeah, so I'm taking lessons since 6 months now, so since September. Yeah, and that means I'm getting a little bit nervous because there aren't many reasons for that I'm not able to do it. There's the one reason I'm a bad student and don't practice enough. I think part of it is this reason, and the second one is I'm not able to do this. Yeah, so we will see. But I was practicing guitar. I was coloring a lot. Maybe I can show you. Oh, it's there. Wait. A lovely viewer gifted me a set of Prismacolor pencils because you can't get them here in Europe. Well, not easily. And they are so lovely, and I couldn't resist to try them out. So what did I do? I did this double page. And again, it's not like, oh, look how awesome I can color. It's just like, hey, see, there are other hobbies too. And if you don't feel inspired to put your needles up, try coloring, because I love it. I made this. And I realized that it is important to switch up your hobbies. It wasn't good for me to only do one thing, like only coloring or only reading, only knitting, only crocheting. First of all, it's not good for your body if you always do the same thing. And I felt very bad pain in my neck because of knitting and crocheting so much in the summer, or at the end of the summer. And I think we say in German, it's one-dimensional. If you only do one thing, it's not good for you, I think. For me, it's not good for me, sorry. I don't want to be too general. And this is so awesome because of the pencils. This is colored with Prismacolors. They are wax-based, and that means they are very soft. They are very easy to blend into each other. And did I do another one? Oh yes, I did. I know I did. Wait. I know I did. I did a ship. Where's the ship? There's a ship. Oh, there it is. This is with watercolor pencil. The other one is with... I have forgotten the brand name. Sorry. Yeah, and I have started during winter break. Another picture. Oh yeah, I started this one. But now I am feeling like crocheting and knitting again. And so I do this. Yeah, I had birthday on the 21st of February and I celebrated, it's my 30th birthday and it was my 30th birthday. So I celebrated with my friends. So we went to a escape room game that was very much fun about Nikola Tesla, and we went to my favorite restaurant, to a Persian, is Persian the right pronunciation? Persian restaurant. I ate gourmet sabzi, which is my favorite dish there, and I spent a lot of time with my boyfriend, so we see each other mostly on the weekends, so not so much time. Yeah, so there's much going on and life is more than only crocheting and knitting or dyeing yarn or so on. So yeah, I think it's very important to have different things in life which inspire you or which entertain you or which allows you to unwind. For me, it's important to do different things. At the moment, I'm listening to, I think the English title is The Jury by John Grisham. I think he's John, right? But you know Grisham. I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. We will see. I'm 8 hours in. There are still 15 or 16 hours left. Well, it's not very thrilling at the moment. We will see. Maybe there will be a plot twist or something. At the moment, it's a little bit boring, but it's okay. It's okay. I will give him the chance because he's he's famous for being very talented and a best-selling author. So there must be something about it, right? So I give it a try. Now I will give my throat a rest because it's very itchy here. No worries, no corona here, and I won't talk about it because it's getting on my nerves and I don't like the panicking all around. If you have this panic around in your city or your country, try to stay cool, really. So many crazy people all around. Yeah, okay. Spring is rolling around, but still cold in the mornings. So I think there was this one day I wasn't wrapped up right in my hand knits. So I catched something and it's always my throat first. So I will give him a rest and drink some tea and work on my bits and bobs blanket. And I hope you enjoyed this episode and I'm looking forward to see you soon. Who knows when? Who knows when? I hope you don't mind that it's not a regular podcast at the moment, but I don't have a regular life at the moment, so we have to deal with it, right? If you follow me on Instagram, that's the place where you get the most updates about my life, my nitty and private life also. I'm looking forward to read your comments. If you like this episode, give me a thumb up or subscribe to the channel. If you want to be informed when I upload something, you also have to click the bell icon because YouTube did this stupid thing. If you subscribe without clicking the bell icon, you don't get the notification. But you don't have to get the notification. You will see me in my subscription, in your subscription feed, so you won't miss something if you only subscribe. So let's stop here. I will drink my tea and knit, and I hope you do the same. Enjoy your life. Do what you love, be kind to yourself, and don't feel guilty if you do what you love. So we see each other very soon, I hope. Bye bye.